Abuse, neglect, and drug use are all reasons why many children end up in foster care. They often experience anxiety, depression, PTSD. Dealing with these emotional issues can be extremely challenging for adoptive parents. That's why churches and other ministries are now providing these families with mental health support. Charlene has the story.
When it comes to adopting, Christians are twice as likely to bring a child into their home than other Americans. According to research by the Barna study group, 5% of Christians have adopted compared to 2% of all Americans. Many parents feel they have a biblical mandate to offer love and hope, including to those bearing scars from past traumas.
James says true religion is to care for the orphan and the widow.
Michael and Libby Romanin of Lucky, Ohio felt led to become foster parents after hearing a sermon about the biblical admonition to care for orphans.
It really resonated with us and convicted us.
Over the years, the Christian couple, who has 3 biological children, has fostered some 17 kids. In 2022, they adopted 2, saying that abuse, neglect, and drug use are all reasons kids can end up in foster care.
A lot of the children, which is true for our adopted daughters, is they experience anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, something called ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder.
Issues which make parenting all the more difficult.
Every adoption starts with some kind of trauma, pain, problem. Anytime there's an adoption, it's because something went terribly wrong.
A wrong the Romanins have found that even love has trouble overcoming.
We have considered dissolving an adoption just because one of our daughters has expressed to us that she doesn't really want to be a part of our family.
Jed Medifind is president of Christian Alliance for Orphans, which works to help Christians care for orphans and vulnerable children. He admits while adoption can be a wonderful experience, there are exceptions.
Children who have experienced serious hardship, deprivation, abuse will often have special challenges in their journey, and that healing and health really require special attention.
Dr. Stephen Gersevich is president and founder of Key Ministry, a nonprofit that focuses on the church's role in ministering to families and children with disabilities. He points out that children in foster care and adoption are more likely to suffer behavioral problems.
They're 7 times more likely to have a problem with depression. They're 5 times more likely to have a problem with an anxiety disorder. 3 times more likely to have a problem with ADHD.
According to Medifind, this is why ongoing support for adoptive families is vital.
There are many families who felt very supported and encouraged at the point of adoption, but then as they face the greater challenges of the journey, have felt that their church hasn't been there for them as they would hope.
Thanks to the work of organizations like his and Key Ministry, many congregations are now filling the void.
Churches are stepping up to wrap around adoptive families, foster families, struggling biological families in very practical ways. Bringing meals over, helping with babysitting, doing yard work, being prayerful in the journey, just so that the families know they're not alone.
While the Romanins welcome such help, they're quick to point out the greater need for more education and counseling.
We have friends who bring us meals and have helped with laundry and who do childcare and all of these things. But there's still the degree to which it's hard to step into a situation that is sometimes unstable and sometimes maybe scary.
Gersevich adds while many churches have established adoption and foster care ministries, some now are approaching the issue with mental health programs in mind.
These types of mental health conditions specifically, are a major barrier to church attendance for families who have kids with these struggles. So for example, if a family has a child with depression, the likelihood of them setting foot in a church decreases by 73%. It's 55% if you have a kid with a disruptive behavior disorder.
Despite those challenges, Medifind believes the benefits of adoption outweigh the negatives.
Children that have been welcomed into families that way do dramatically better than children who grow up in orphanages or in group homes or in the foster system.
Meanwhile, the Romanins are relying on that hope as they continue their adoption journey.
It's made my faith stronger in a sense that it is constantly putting me at the feet of Jesus. Just really desperate for help and desperate for answers.
There's this pairing of the beauty and the costliness of adoption. And I think anyone who's considering adoption or is already in it really needs to hold both of those things together. You know, the adoption mirrors the gospel story, both in its beauty and in its costliness.
Charlene, CBN News.
Well, if you're an adoptive or foster parent and you need help, you need a lot more than just somebody helping you with meals or yard work. You need someone who knows how to walk a child through mental health services. If you want more information about the organizations you just saw in that piece, all you have to do is go to cbn.com. I have to say, our own Terry Mewson put together from her own experience an Adoption Foster RX. It's a video series. You can get it by going to Orphans Promise. You can access Orphans Promise through cbn.com. There's also another direct website, and I forgot. Orphanspromise.com? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Check it out.
Thank you.